Hi there, I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey, and today I'm going to build and give you a mini S&P futures trading algo. So let's get to it. All right, before I reveal this algo, I just want to tell you that developing profitable strategies, kind of like I'm showing here, gets a lot easier when you have a process that you follow. I'm telling you, for consistency and better results, have a process for developing strategies. Don't just rely on, say, YouTube videos and just see a strategy. Oh, okay, I'm going to start trading it. No, if that can give you an idea, just like this video can give you an idea, but you still want to test it yourself as part of a process. So remember that. That's really going to improve your results. This is the process I use. I call it the strategy factory. It goes from goals, what kind of strategy you want, all the way to real money operation. And along the way, there's a whole bunch of tests which you will either fail or pass. Or I should say your strategy will either fail or pass. And if you do it right, you're more likely to come up with good strategies. So I think that's important. Does it work? Here is a comment from a student who, after 7 months of taking my class, said, hey, this has been a game changer for him. So if you stick to a process, a known process that you know works, you're going to be in pretty good shape. Okay, so in an earlier video, I had an S&P strategy that was an intraday strategy, meaning it ended and it closed trades by the end of the day. So now with this strategy, what I'm going to do is modify it a little bit and make it an overnight swing type strategy. And guess what? It's going to be a completely different strategy, even though it's kind of based on the same thing, but the performance is going to be a lot different. So here's the original strategy, and then what I'm going to do is comment out in green. This is TradeStation Easy language, by the way. I'm going to comment out in green what I don't want anymore and change it around a little bit. So you can see I changed the entries a little bit, and I also commented out the exit at the end of the day. And so that's what the code looks like. It's pretty simple. And the one big thing that this does is it limits the number of trades per day. And I'll show you why that's important in a minute, but it allows overnight trades. So if you don't like holding trades overnight, this strategy is probably not for you. But this strategy will limit the number of trades to 1 per day, and it will also reverse if it runs into trouble. If it hits a certain loss, it just reverses, and it can do that once a day. So here's the results from 2018 to 2024. You can see it looks pretty good. Kind of struggled towards the end, but lately it's been making new highs. But this could be a decent algo to trade. Like I said, whipsaws can kill. So if the profit goes to be negative, it would reverse the trade. And if you don't put some kind of catch in there to limit the number of trades, it can just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And this is an example of it. So the chart down at the bottom doesn't limit the number of trades per day. So it could make 10 trades. If it was losing, it would flip. And then if it's losing again, it'll flip. And so if the market's whipsawing around, that really affects the performance. Where if you limit it to, hey, I can switch one time and that's it, you get that upper curve, which is what we ended up going with. But that alone might be something useful for your future strategies that you build. It is just avoid those whipsaws. So again, the limit on the number of entries a day is the top one, and no limits on the bottom. And you can see the no limit one is definitely performing worse. All right, so I mentioned it's all about process, and strategies like the one I just gave you are important, but where I always see the biggest failure for new algo traders or experienced algo traders is they just don't know how to properly develop and test a strategy. They do all sorts of goofy things like over optimizing and adding filters until they can't add anymore. So you got to watch out for that. And you might say, okay, well, that's how you do it. Does it actually work? Well, I've taught a lot of trading contest trophy winners, and my own students have created successful strategies. We have a club that is part of my course, and we have over 600 strategies that have passed a real-time performance test, a 6-month performance test. And I have a couple hundred of my own strategies that I use to trade. So yeah, it works. Can you do it yourself without doing what I do? Certainly. Here's what you need to do. You just need to create hundreds of strategies with the same process, then watch them in real time for a couple of years. And if it doesn't quite work out, well, go back, tweak your process, and then run a few more hundred strategies and watch them for a couple of years. And you keep doing that until you figure out what works. Is it time consuming? Yes. Does it work? It can, yes. That's sort of what I did and how I came up with the process I use today. I didn't invent this process and never make any changes, 20 years ago when I first did it. But I can tell you this is very difficult to do. But it can be done. You can do it yourself, or you can follow somebody who's already done it for you. Choice is yours. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this simple strategy. I hope you find some success with it. If you test it, let me know. Let me know how it comes out. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'll keep making more videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Have a great day.